Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas is one of the biggest cruise ships in the world, and she is packed with so much to do on your cruise vacation. And of course, you're going to want to know every single thing about this ship. Well, today we've got a full walkthrough tour of Harmony of the Seas up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas is one of the Oasis class ships, which means she's one of the biggest ships in the fleet in the world, and she is packed with lots to do. There is so much entertainment, things to do, places to eat, and of course, lots of ways to relax while on your cruise vacation. And I wanted to give you a full walkthrough tour of Harmony of the Seas so you have an idea of what you can expect once you get on board the ship. We shall begin this tour with the pool and sports zone, of course, being on the top deck of Harmony of the Seas. And you can see just straight up from this video, there's already a lot happening. This is where you're going to find pools, lounge chairs, water slides, and lots more. The pool deck on Harmony of the Seas is broken up into many different pools. There's not just like a main pool like you might find on a more traditional cruise ship, but there's smaller pools, and that way it helps break apart crowds a little bit and give you some more choices depending on the motif of the pools. To be perfectly honest with you, the pools are more similar than they're not. It's not like, one pool is significantly different than the other. More often, it's more about, quite frankly, which pool is less crowded. Some pools are more kid-friendly than others, but in general, most of the pools lend themselves to be more similar than not. In fact, there's also hot tubs all around the pool deck as well, and both the pool and hot tubs are open to guests of all ages, assuming, of course, you're not wearing a diaper. We'll cover that in a little bit. But in general, there's a lot of places to hang out and relax. On a sea day, you can get a little busy up here, especially getting a chair. So my best advice, if you want to get a chair during a sea day, or really anytime you're doing your cruise, is to get up there early, because it definitely gets busy as the day progresses onwards. There's also different activities held on the pool deck, like the belly flop competition, sexiest man competition, and other activities. Check your cruise compass or, of course, the Royal Caribbean app for more information. There's also a towel station, which you can borrow towels during your cruise. You do not need to bring towels from home. These are complimentary. You just bring them back before the end of the cruise, and you're good to go. There are also complimentary swim vests available as well. So if you're a new swimmer or not a great swimmer and need to have a swim vest, that is an option available. The Patty Dive Center is where you can go to purchase items for your cruise later on in order to use it in port. If you want to go scuba diving, snorkeling, this is where you can go to pick up some items that you might need on one of the ports you're going to go to. Now, I mentioned earlier, there's also a special dedicated area just for kids. Splashaway Bay is a dedicated aqua park H2O zone, especially for kids. Now, this area is really all about getting soaked. I mean, there's a water slide, there are drench buckets and fountains, and really just about any way to get in here and just get absolutely drenched. The great thing about Splashaway Bay is it's really easy to get in. There's no admission cost to it, and the kids can run around and really have a great time. There's also a hot tub right near Splashaway Bay, so if they want to go in between them, most likely your kids are going to want to hop between the Splashaway Bay slides and then back over the hot tub and back and forth and back and forth. Speaking of slides, there are water slides on Harmony of the Seas. There's no cost for the water slides. Simply first come, first serve. There are 3 different slides within the Perfect Storm water slides. 2 of them are the racer slides, in which you get to, see who can get down the bottom first. And basically, you both go in there. It's a dark enclosed tube, and you go as fast as you possibly can. Then there's the Supercell slide, which is the champagne bowl slide, toilet bowl slide, whatever you want to call it, in which you go down the slide, and then right before the end, there's this giant bowl feature in which you go around and around and around, and then get sucked in, kind of like a, toilet, and go in there. And basically, you get to see how many circles you can make around there. The water slides are fun. They do get busy. My tip for the water slides, go there on embarkation day because it's a lot less crowded. There are also some great hot tubs around the pool deck as well. In fact, these cantilevered hot tubs are absolutely fantastic. They actually go over the side of the ship, hence the name cantilevered hot tubs. And there's also TVs you can watch over there. But what I like about these especially is that they're covered, so there's a lot more shade here and just a beautiful view. Giant hot tubs, by the way. Lots of people can fit in here, so a good spot. You're also going to find a number of different bars on the pool deck, starting with the sand bar. And the bars essentially are all interchangeable. Names different, but same great drinks. There's a pool bar, there's a sand bar, there's the mast bar, just different locations, quite frankly. And within the pool deck and the pool bars, you're going to find a variety of different drinks. Now, they have all the, favorites, pina coladas and margaritas. They got that as well. But they also have other drinks you can get here, including some custom drinks, my advice is ask for some recommendations. The Goombay Smash is absolutely fantastic. Not to worry, there's also beer available. In fact, you may even find these beer carts going around the pool deck to help out. And also, these impromptu pop-up bars can appear. That way you don't have to wait too long to get a drink while on your cruise, especially on the pool deck, which can get very busy for things like sail away or, of course, on a sea day. So Royal Caribbean wants to make sure you can get your drink easily without much of a wait. So check out these bars, different views, and basically it's a good opportunity to maybe go around and check each one of them out and see which one kind of jives with you. Personally, when I'm at the pool bar, I love a lava flow with Kraken rum. It's fantastic. Up on the upper pool deck, there's more chairs. Now, the upper pool deck, essentially, besides being, of course, one deck higher, has little to no shade. That's one big difference. You could rent a casita on this deck. The casitas do cost extra, but they allow you basically a rental of this particular casita for the day. And that rental gives you all day long. It's reserved just for you. And of course, you can see here there's a little bit of shade. There's some power outlets, some water provided with it. And you can reserve the casitas via the Royal Caribbean website when you go to the cruise planner. So you want to do that before your cruise. If you happen to be staying in a grand suite or higher, you'll have access to the suite deck. The suite deck is a reserved area of the pool deck just for guests who are staying in a suite. The suite deck has its own bar, actually has its own hot tub, and plenty of loungers. Essentially, the idea behind this is that if you're staying in a suite, you should have an area reserved for you. Now, if you're familiar with other cruise lines that have more like a ship within a ship concept for suite guests, it's not quite that. It's simply just a reserved section of the pool deck just for suite guests. So you just use your SeaPass card to get in there, and then you have access to any of these chairs, first come, first serve. I particularly enjoy these cabanas, if you want to call them that are also available on a first come, first serve basis, no additional cost to them. But you got to get there early to grab one. But it's really nice because you can find plenty of different seating, whether you want to really, sit yourself or just simply be outdoors. It's really nice. There's a lot of seating. So walk around, find a chair there, and it's great for people watching. It's great for just lounging, and of course, enjoying being outside in the sun deck. In general, the pool deck on Harmony of the Seas has a lot of space and a lot to do, in fact, whether you're looking to go in the water, go down a water slide, or just simply enjoy the outdoors, the passing sea air. It's all fantastic. Next up is the solarium. The solarium is the adults-only area of the pool deck. The solarium is reserved for guests who are only 18 years old or above, so kids are not allowed to go in here. Of course, they can walk, from go to point A to point B, but they can't lounge here. They can't go in any of the facilities here. There's a lot of seating within the solarium. The solarium is not quite enclosed, as you can see. There's an open air element to it, but it does provide some shade, and it's obviously an adult vibe. Doesn't mean it's a library, but it's gonna be a lot quieter than the pool deck, and there's a number of hot tubs you can enjoy within the solarium. Really, Royal Caribbean wanted the solarium on Harmony of the Seas to be a lounging, relaxing experience. One thing you won't find, though, within the solarium is a pool. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but they didn't put a pool in here. Instead, they have this mister thing. So essentially the idea is you'll just walk through, cool yourself down, and then go back and do whatever. I'm not sure I understand that. But anyhow, one thing you will also notice here is a pop-up bar within the solarium. And this bar is more of a temporary location. There is a solarium bar, but hey, listen, it can get a little busy. So again, Royal Caribbean wants to make sure that there's plenty of options for you to grab your drink in there, and there you go. Whether you have a drink at the solarium bar or the pop-up bar, they have the same basic drinks you're going to find pretty much at any other pool deck bar out there, but it's within the solarium. Something else I absolutely love about Harmony of the Seas are these bridge wings, which are on the side of the ship. You simply go to the solarium, go all the way forward and off to the side, and there are these great viewing platforms. You take amazing photos, including a see-through panel on the bottom, so you actually look down all the way to the ocean. I don't know if that's scary or not to you, but kind of a neat idea, and you can get plenty of views out there. This is one of the best vantage spots on the ship. I mean, it's going to get busy out there for sail away, but it's definitely the best spot there. Next up is the Solarium Bistro. The Solarium Bistro is a complimentary restaurant. A lot of people may not be aware that it exists, but it's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner most days. In fact, it's open for breakfast and dinner every day, lunch on sea days. And what's nice about the Solarium Bistro is it's kind of like the Windjammer Light. It's like a great alternative to the buffet because it offers buffet food, but a lot of people just gravitate towards the regular buffet, which we'll see a little later on in our tour. But the Solarium Bistro offers, well, somewhere else to go. And by the way, even though it's in the solarium, kids are allowed in here. It's totally cool to bring your children in here, and you'll find a variety of food choices, Also drinks that are included in your cruise as well. Of course, drinks if you want to pay extra for them, or you have a drink package, then you can use that as well over here. Personally, I love going to the Solarium Bistro for breakfast because it is absolutely fantastic and a really nice choice. In short, the Solarium is a great spot to hang out without kids, obviously. Now, kids are allowed to get in from point A to point B, but really the Solarium is about having a spot for adults to enjoy without children over there. And I love the views in the Solarium, even more so than the fact that it's adults only. Just a great spot, lots of space to spread out there. And of course, those bridge wings and hot tubs are fantastic as well. Let's check out the sports deck on Harmony of the Seas. This is located on the back of the ship, and there's a lot of activities. Things keep you busy throughout the day. But before we get busy with all the things you're going to want to do, it's time for a snack. And of course, there is complimentary ice cream on board Harmony of the Seas at Sprinkles. Sprinkles is available throughout the day, and it's served by the cone. And there's usually a couple different flavors. Almost always it's vanilla, chocolate, or swirl. And you simply go up there, ask for a cone, and you're on your way. You can enjoy as much of this as you'd like. It is complimentary, and there is no limit involved, so eat it to your heart's content. Also, speaking of food that's included in your cruise fare, Mini Bites is located nearby. Mini Bites is a grab-and-go food primarily for lunch and afternoon snacks, and Mini Bites is great for just people who just want to get something easy, quick, and be on their way. Primarily, it offers a lot of Mexican food, like tortillas and quesadillas and tacos. It's not quite El Loco Fresh that you might find on other ships, but it's a very similar concept. And I gotta say, my kids absolutely love going to Mini Bites because they just seem to be able to eat an ungodly amount of quesadillas on a cruise. So whatever you want to do, this is a great spot. It's easy. It's great for also when you get back on the ship and you want something in your stomach after a day in port. This can be a great choice for you, and it's located right near the pool deck, so it's very convenient. Also located nearby are some of the ping pong tables, or table tennis, whatever you want to call it. These are complimentary. Just simply grab a paddle and ball and go for it. There's no cost. It's simply first come, first served. See what I did there? It's a ping pong pun. Also available on board is the mini golf course. The mini golf course is included in your cruise fare, and this is a great family activity, whether it is a port day or a sea day, anywhere in between. It's a fun thing to try out, and there's no cost to it. Just simply grab some clubs and a golf ball, and you can keep score if you'd like to, or just simply play and shoot to your heart's content. No judgments here. When it comes to the mini golf course, also check it out at night. It's a fun activity, and this is a great thing, and again, including your cruise fare, so something interesting and something you do all together. If you're brave enough, there's the Flowrider Surf Simulator. There's actually two of them on board, and the Flowrider Surf Simulator is a way to try your hand at stand-up surfing. Before you get to stand-up surfing, you have to get up to body surfing and boogie boarding, and being able to demonstrate you have the skills for it. Don't worry, the crew members there are able to help you and guide you along the way, and there's no cost for the Flowrider. Simply wait in line for your turn, and until you wipe out, well, you got a chance to check it out. Also nearby is the sports court. The sports court doubles as a variety of different activities throughout the day. It's obviously a basketball court, as you can see, but also it's available to use for pickleball and archery and volleyball and soccer. And there are organized activities, which Royal Caribbean staff shows up to help organize it. And other times throughout the day, it's simply just open play. Like, there'll be basketballs and soccer balls and volleyballs, and it's up to you to cooperate with your fellow guests and give it a try. Something else you might want to give a try is the zip line. Yeah, there's a zip line that is included in your cruise fare, and this is a great first ever zip line experience. Like if you've never done before, this is the perfect start. Number one, it's included in your cruise fare. Number two, it's a very short zip line, so it's not that like grinding or demanding for it. And it is a little scary. It does go over the boardwalk neighborhood, so if you happen to look down, yeah, that's about 10 decks or so below you, but it's not too bad. Next up is the Wipeout Bar. The Wipeout Bar is located on the back of the ship, and the Wipeout Bar is where you can go to get a drink at the back. And basically, in this area, there's not a whole lot of places to get a drink, so this is a great spot to go to. Maybe it's for sail away, maybe you're watching your kids do something in the sports court. This is where you can go to grab a drink and be able to enjoy that. And I love the Adirondack chairs in the back. Speaking of the back of the ship, they also have the Ultimate Abyss on Harmony of the Seas. The Ultimate Abyss is a winding slide, and it is not a wet slide, it's a dry slide, meaning you're not going to get wet on this one. But despite the fact that it looks really scary, in my experience, it's really not that bad. I mean, it's still a dark slide. You go down like, 10 stories. That being said, it's not nearly as fast as you might think. You go in these little mats and go down there, and it's really not that bad. When you get down to the bottom, though, you'll head into the Boardwalk neighborhood, which is our next neighborhood to visit here on Harmony of the Seas. The Boardwalk is themed after the seaside boardwalks of the Northeast United States and also of England. And this is a whimsical neighborhood. It's meant to be fun, and there's different activities throughout the day. And we're going to take a look at some of these activities, including some of the family activities. Usually during your cruise, at least one of the day, they'll have like a family get-together kind of activity out there. So check out the cruise compass for more information on that. Also, there is a stowaway piano player. In this case, the stowaway piano player is located in the boardwalk, but you might find the piano player elsewhere, like in an elevator or somewhere around the ship. But keep an eye out for them. It's kind of a fun activity. Now, of course, the boardwalk would not be the boardwalk without a full carousel. And this is a handmade carousel made out of wood. And this is included in your cruise fare. And this is so much fun. I mean, when my kids were younger, they loved going on the carousel. And you can see here, it's absolutely stunning and beautiful. Must do at night. And I don't care how old you are. I think it's fun to always do that. Also located nearby is the Boardwalk Doghouse, a complimentary food venue where they serve, yeah, you guessed it, hot dogs. There's a variety of different hot dogs you can try, and you can customize it the way you want it. Personally, I am a mustard and sauerkraut kind of guy, but hey, it's your cruise. Enjoy it how you'd like to see fit. Again, it's more of a kind of a grab and go, like, hey, I'm in the mood for a hot dog, grab it, and be on your way and go do something else. That's what's great about the Boardwalk Doghouse. There's also a Starbucks coffee kiosk over on Harmony of the Seas. Now, the Starbucks coffee is not included in your cruise fare. Even if you have a drink package, this is not included. But if you'd like to get a Starbucks coffee, you can absolutely go here and grab it. And if you have a Starbucks gift card, you can use that towards the purchases over here. Heck, you can even earn your Starbucks rewards. The only thing you can't do here is redeem Starbucks rewards. So it's kind of like a coffee shop, or a Starbucks shop rather, you might find like at your local grocery store. But there is real Starbucks coffee served on board Harmony of the Seas. So if you're so inclined, you can get that. Also across the way is the arcade. The arcade is, well, yeah, a video game arcade where you can take your kids, and obviously all the games here do cost extra. Most of the games are like $2 or $3 per game, but there's skee-ball, there's racing games, there's shooting games, there's claw games. So if you are willing to take your children over here and spend money on the arcade, it is available for you, and you can play per game, so you don't have to worry about, pre-purchasing anything in terms of credits or anything like that. Design District is one of the shops on board Harmony of the Seas. Design District serves up, well, plenty of different clothing that you might need. Now, I think the idea here behind Design District, because it's near the boardwalk, is like they want to have more like outdoor gear, like, different swimsuits and whatnot. Sundial, similar idea here. In this case, we've got, of course, sunglasses and things of that nature that would be helpful for outdoor experiences. Now, the shop, though, is a different kind of shop, because the shop is, well, really the Royal Caribbean logo shop. If you want to come home with something that says Harmony of the Seas or Royal Caribbean on it, or at least the Royal Caribbean logo, this is the store for you. This is where you can find a variety of different souvenirs that have Royal Caribbean something adorned on it. And for a lot of people, that's a really big deal to get it. Let's explore more of the boardwalk. As you can see here, it's a wonderful outdoor space. Starting with Johnny Rockets. Johnny Rockets is a specialty restaurant, which means it costs extra to dine here. Now, for lunch and dinner, there's a cover charge to dine at Johnny Rockets. And then, of course, they serve the classic hot dogs and burgers and French fries. But it's also open for breakfast, and breakfast is complimentary. So lunch and dinner costs extra, breakfast is free. I know, it's kind of confusing, but go with me on this one. It's a great option for breakfast. But a lot of people end up going to Johnny Rockets for lunch, dinner, mid-afternoon snack, because, at the end of the day, a milkshake, a burger, some chili fries, it's just fantastic. And of course, it's Johnny Rockets, so they've got some great rock and roll music playing in the background. And the milkshakes, by the way, are really supreme. I gotta say, one of my favorite things about Johnny Rockets, worth getting there. There's outdoor and indoor seating. And on sea days, Johnny Rockets can get a little busy, especially for lunch, but it's a good option for you. Across from Johnny Rockets is Sabor, which is a Mexican specialty restaurant. Sabor serves up, well, pretty much all your typical Mexican fare, whether it's tacos or burritos. Their guacamole is really good. They have some fantastic margaritas if you're into that. And really what Sabor is all about is, of course, just the kind of food that you expect at a great Mexican restaurant. Now, Sabor offers a variety of different food choices, and there's also a bar nearby. So if you just want to grab a margarita and be on your way, that's available for you as well. In fact, I really like the layout here of Sabor because they have that bar that's very convenient, located within the restaurant, but the restaurant itself is really open air, as you can see here. So there is air conditioning, though, in the inside part, but obviously on a very warm day, it might get a little stifling in there. Nonetheless, it's Mexican food. Hard to go wrong with that. Now, we saw the Ultimate Abyss earlier, and you can see here from the boardwalk just how long this slide is and how it spirals down. It's actually kind of fun to just sit there and watch people come down. You actually hear people screaming coming down the Ultimate Abyss, if you believe that. Nearby is something my kids, when they were absolutely younger, loved, which is the Lucky Climbers. The Lucky Climbers is completely free. Simply go in there and really just climb. If you've got kids that are under the age of 6, this is a great activity for them. If they're a little bit older, check out the rock climbing wall. Rock climbing wall also included in your cruise fare, and you get to get strapped in and see if you can get all the way up to the top. There are different courses along the way, and don't worry, Royal Caribbean provides all the equipment that you need. You just simply need to bring your sense of adventure, and whether you get, a couple steps up or go all the way up to the top, there is a bell, by the way, at the top to check out. Well, that's up to you. And then there is the Aqua Theater. The Aqua Theater is, of course, a open air theater in which you're going to see a variety of shows on board. During the daytime, the Aqua Theater is primarily used for different activities, but really where the Aqua Theater shines is where the Aqua Theater shows, in which there are dive shows and acrobats and dancers and music, and it's a really incredible performance. If you're going on any Oasis-class ship like Harmony of the Seas, this is a must-see show. You can get tickets for the show before your cruise about 30 days ahead of time via the Royal Caribbean website, but if you don't get any tickets, don't worry about it. You can still get in here usually. You're simply going to need to line up a little early, about 45 minutes or so, in order to get a spot for that. The boardwalk is really a fun and vibrant neighborhood, and the fact that it's outdoors has some great views from over here, but more importantly, there's things to do and plenty of things to eat while in the boardwalk. Our next neighborhood is Central Park. Central Park is a neighborhood right in the middle of the ship, and this is a living park. These plants you see are not fake. Every single plant is absolutely living, and it's a living park, which is an incredible feat considering you're on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, and you're able to have a living park, and it's one of my favorite spots on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. Our first stop is going to be Chops Grill, which is this signature steakhouse on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. Chops Grill is where you can go to enjoy, of course, different cuts of steaks. This is a specialty restaurant that has a cover charge to dine here, so you pay one fee to enjoy pretty much anything that's on the menu, and there's a variety of different steaks you can enjoy, whether it is filet mignon or New York strip or something else. There's different choices available, including lobster and chicken. There's also outdoor seating at Chops Grill, so if you'd like to, you can enjoy some al fresco dining outside, which is really nice. Be able to take advantage of the nice weather if it so fits you. And then across the way is 150 Central Park. 150 Central Park is basically like modern American food, and I absolutely love 150 Central Park. In fact, I think this is one of my favorite restaurants on board Harmony of the Seas. So what's so good about this restaurant? Well, it's not your traditional food. Like, this isn't like burgers and hot dogs by any means. There's arguably the best cut of filet available on board any Royal Caribbean cruise ship here at 150 Central Park. There's also some fantastic appetizers. There's garlic bread, which is absolutely amazing, and even better, the fried cheesecake. 150 Central Park is a must-eat. There's also the Trellis Bar located right in the middle of Central Park, and the Trellis Bar is, well, of course, a bar. And what I love about the Trellis Bar is that it's outdoors, and there's great seating, so you can really enjoy being in Central Park. Like, it just makes it feel like you're right in the middle of everything, and just beautiful views. And at nighttime, boy, like, grab a drink and then enjoy the live music that's out here. Usually it is jazz music, and it's so good. I love just, the sun setting, a warm, gentle breeze, and of course, a glass of wine in your hand while you're enjoying this music. It's absolutely fantastic. Trellis Bar is definitely one of the must-try bars on Harmony of the Seas. Let's keep moving through Central Park. Here's a couple more restaurants to check out. Starting with Park Cafe. Park Cafe is included in your cruise fare, so there's no additional cost to eat here. And Park Cafe is open for breakfast and lunch, and then late afternoon. And I usually go to Park Cafe like 2 times. One, Embarkation Day is a great spot for it because it's not very crowded. But also in the morning, they have breakfast items here, and this is where we usually go on a morning in which we have a shore excursion. We want to grab something to eat. But don't overlook lunch options because they've got some great choices, including the Kemmelwick roast beef sandwich, custom order salads. It's a great spot to go to, vastly underrated, and I love the fact there's indoor and outdoor seating, and it's great for just a quick, easy meal without any fuss. Across the way is Jamie's Italian. This is the Italian restaurant that is a specialty restaurant that costs extra, and it's the creation of famous celebrity chef Jamie Oliver. Now, Jamie's Italian essentially is more of a modern take on Italian food, so it's not like traditional checkerboard Italian food, but don't worry, there's still plenty of the usuals in there. Lots of pastas, cheeses, breads. It's really good, and I love the fact that it's not just the same old, There's new takes on everything here. And Jamie's Italian is a great crowd pleaser because at the end of the day, I mean, who doesn't eat pasta and sauce at the very least, right? It's a great specialty restaurant. Check it out. There's a cover charge to dine there. So just like Chops Grill. If you're into wine, Vintages is the bar for you. Vintages is a wine bar on Harmony of the Seas, and this is where you're going to find the largest selection of wine. Don't get me wrong, you can get wine elsewhere on the ship, but if you're looking for variety, this is the place to go to. And I gotta say, Vintages has the most comfortable chairs anywhere on the ship in a public venue. It's really nice, and as you can see here, sometimes there's live music even in the evening, but I love the vibe here. They do have other liquors as well, but it's a very limited menu. Really, if you're going to Vintages, you're going for the wine, and this is a go-to spot for so many wine lovers out there, not just Don and Judy. There are also some shopping opportunities on board Harmony of the Seas, and you're going to find a variety of different shops within Central Park. There's a Bulgari store, and basically the idea here, whether you're in this store or the Cartier store, is that you're going fine jewelry shopping. I mean, this place is in Central Park. Central Park is from New York. New York, you've got, of course, Fifth Avenue and some of the high-end shopping. So I guess that's why Royal Caribbean went with this idea here in Central Park as well. Overall, I love the ambiance in Central Park. Great restaurants, great entertainment, and best of all, it's all wrapped in just an absolutely beautiful and stunning spot. So make sure you check that out. We're going to head down to the Royal Promenade, though, because the Royal Promenade is really the heartbeat of Harmony of the Seas. It is a classic venue on any Oasis-class ship. It's huge, and there's a ton going on here, and this is where you actually board the ship on embarkation day. You're going to find a lot of activities throughout the day in the Royal Promenade. There's a lot happening, so we're going to try to provide an overview of what you can expect, but keep in mind that it really does change throughout the day. As you can see here, this is a main thoroughfare that runs from one end of Harmony to the other. And there's a variety of different venues you can check out. Of course, there's the Rising Tide Bar that goes up and down between Central Park and the Royal Promenade. And here you have the Schooner Bar. The Schooner Bar is a nautical themed bar. Before we get there, though, it's right next to the Loyalty Desk. The Loyalty Desk is where you can go to speak to a customer service representative from Royal Caribbean to speak about your loyalty program benefits. The more you cruise, the more benefits you accrue, and the Loyalty Ambassador is there to help you along the way. But the Schooner Bar is one of the most popular bars on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship, and this is where you're going to find trivia, and you're going to find activities, demonstrations, and then at night, there's a Schooner Bar player, a piano player who plays music you can sing along to: Elton John, Billy Joel, Alicia Keys. They got it all over here. It's absolutely fantastic. And the bar, they can make pretty much any drink you'd like to. It's a great spot. I love going to the Schooner Bar in the evening. I mean, trivia is fun in the daytime. Definitely check out the trivia events. It's a lot of fun. Watch out for a guy wearing a Penn State hat. He cheats at this game, but everyone else does a really good job of playing at trivia, and I like that. But I think the evening entertainment is by far the best. Across the way from the Schooner Bar is the Focused Photo Gallery. Photo Gallery is where you can go to pick up photos that you get around the ship. So around the ship, you're going to see photographers who are willing to take your photo, and there's no cost for you to take a photo. You can simply pose and then look later at the gallery to see how the photos came out. Now, of course, the prints or the digital downloads do cost extra, and you can preview them right over here in the Focus Photo Gallery. And if you'd like, you can purchase one photo, you can purchase 10 photos. It's all up to you, but you can simply pick what you like and then order them, or maybe not order any of them and just say, that was fun, and then move on. There are also photo accessories, so maybe you forgot batteries or memory card, you can pick them up at the Focus Photo Gallery. Now, if you're really into photos, there is a portrait studio on board Harmony of the Seas. Now, there's a sitting fee for the portrait studio, but if you're looking to get really professional photos taken of you or your family or both, well, then this is the spot for you. Now, there's plenty more happening here on the Royal Promenade, so let's explore more of what this venue has to offer, because so many cool things. The main floor of the promenade is really what we're talking about. What we saw before with Schooner Bar and the studio, that was on deck 6. Now we're on deck 5. And we're going to start off with the port and shopping desk. If you have questions about where to shop in port, this is the place for you. Also, the Voom Internet desk is where you can go in case you have any technical questions about how to get connected to the internet. Did you know that Royal Caribbean has drinks served by robots? Yeah, the Bionic Bar is our next stop here, and this is where you can get a drink made and served by a robot. These special bars are really something custom made for Royal Caribbean, and they are definitely a technological wonder. Basically, it combines technology, entertainment, and of course, alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks as well. All the drinks here do cost extra. If you have a drink package, it works here as well. But the idea here is pretty simple. Order a drink via one of the tablets, and the robot will make it for you and serve it. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's not my favorite bar to go to. Like, I'm not going to go here like, hey, let's get a drink, let's go to the Bionic Bar. But if you've never seen it before, it is undeniably cool, and the kids love it. It's just something you got to try out once. I mentioned earlier we had the Rising Tide bar, and the Rising Tide bar is a bar that traverses between the Royal Promenade and Central Park. It moves very slowly, and the idea here is you board the Rising Tide, grab a drink, have a seat, and then enjoy the view because you slowly elevate or de-elevate. Put into the comments, what's the opposite of elevate? Descend, I think that's the word. You go down to Royal Promenade again. It's fun to check out, and some great people watching opportunities from the Rising Tide bar. Next up is guest services. Guest services is where you can go in case you have any problems on board the ship. Guest service is available 24 hours a day, and you can go here to have any billing issues or queries you might have. It definitely gets busiest on embarkation day and then the final day of the cruise, so if you can avoid those 2 times, by all means do that. Otherwise, it's the go-to spot in case you have any issues. There's also an ATM machine located right near guest services, so if you need to get cash out, you can do so at the ATM machine. Yes, there is a fee associated with that, so bring cash, but if you need it, they got it for you. Next Cruise is located across from guest services. Next Cruise is where you can go to book another Royal Caribbean cruise. By booking a cruise on board, you're going to get reduced deposit and some extra onboard credit. Now, if you're sitting here at home, my advice is book your cruise now because the price can go up between now and when you get on board the ship. But if you happen to be on board Harmony and thinking to yourself, man, this is great, let's book another cruise, then go down to Next Cruise and book your next sailing. They can hook you up with that and take advantage of the offer that's available on board the ship. There's also a classic car on the Royal Promenade. This is great for photos. Every ship with a Royal Promenade has some sort of either a classic car or major art piece here, and on Harmony it's a classic car. And right nearby is Cafe Promenade. Cafe Promenade is a mostly included venue. Some things cost extra here, but essentially this is where you can go to get a snack, a cup of coffee, some tea, and this coffee and this tea and these snacks are included in your cruise fare. In addition, you can also get extra cost Starbucks coffees here. Now, this is confusing because we just saw Starbucks earlier, but this is Starbucks beverages served at Cafe Promenade. These are included with your drink package if you have them, or you can just pay for them individually. But these are, of course, drinks that you can purchase if you'd like to get a Frappuccino or a latte or a macchiato. Moving down the Royal Promenade, we're going to check out a couple more places to go to, including Sorrento's Pizza. My goodness, this is a classic cruise experience because pizza on a cruise ship is a must-do. It's not the best pizza by far in the world, but it is pizza, and when you're on a cruise and it's mid-afternoon, late at night, morning, whatever, you need a slice of pizza, they have it here. There's usually a couple different varieties, cheese, pepperoni, and then like rotating variety of 2 that changes every day. But hey, it's available as much as you'd like to. Per slice, come by, grab one, and be on your way. Of course, with the Sorrento's Pizza, by the way, you can eat it at Sorrento's or take it somewhere else on board the ship. Does not matter. You're also going to find within Sorrento's these Coca-Cola freestyle machines. There are freestyle machines elsewhere on the ship as well. But if you have a soda package or a drink package, you can use your soda cups at these machines. Right across the way is the Boot and Bonnet Pub, and this is your English-style pub on Harmony. And the pub not only has, of course, the ambiance of an English-style pub, but really what makes this place stand out is in the evening when they have a guitarist that performs all sorts of music here, and I love the songs performed here, whether it is Guns N' Roses, or Oasis, or Lynyrd Skynyrd, or even, of course, crowd favorite, Chumbawamba. They can perform those songs for you, and the best part is you can enjoy cocktails while enjoying the live music. In fact, I think my favorite venue on board any Royal Caribbean cruise ship is the pub because I love the combination of live guitarist music, songs that I know that I can sing along to and enjoy being in there. It's just a fun experience, and I really gravitate towards this venue quite a bit. You're also going to find plenty of shopping on the Royal Promenade, and there's a variety of shopping opportunities at different stores and kiosks, and even within the middle of the promenade, there are different sales and things that you can purchase. These could be Royal Caribbean souvenirs, they could be jewelry, they could be knickknacks, they could be tchotchkes. There's all sorts of things available for you to purchase on board, and usually these center islands will change on a daily basis, like they'll have different things that are there, but in general, you can find a variety of shopping opportunities. Some stuff is name brand, like you can see here, these are Gucci bags and Louis Vuitton and Coach. And in other cases, they're just, run-of-the-mill, more generic stuff. And maybe you just need a hat or a pair of sunglasses, or you'd like to purchase a new shirt, that's available as well. In addition, there's also cosmetics you can purchase, as well as liquors and lotions and sprays. A lot of the stuff is duty-free, so the idea here is that you maybe be able to save a little bit of money, but I think for a lot of people, they're just looking to be at a nice souvenir. So depending on what your needs are, or you simply want a window shop, this is all available for you. Something cool about Harmony is this artwork. You're gonna notice artwork all over the ship, But here you have this rotating head, and this is a really signature piece of art on board. So something kind of cool and neat, and certainly grabs your attention. There's also the shore excursions area here. So this is where you can go if you want to purchase a shore excursion or have questions about it. In my opinion, my advice, book your shore excursions before the cruise. Don't waste your time over here on board your ship browsing excursions, but they are available to do that. And I think for most folks, this is really an opportunity to speak to somebody if you have a question about what's available. But if you have a last minute need, you can go here as well. The On Air Club is essentially the karaoke bar on Harmony of the Seas. The On Air Club is where you can go to enjoy, well, karaoke, whether you want to sing or watch or think about going up there, whatever the case may be, you have that choice there. Of course, there's a bar service here as well, but this gets very popular at night because people just really love karaoke on a cruise ship. So you can enjoy a nice cocktail, enjoy the ambiance here, and hopefully you get some nice singers. I think with karaoke, it's really about the really good singers and the really terrible singers. People in between, it's like, whatever. Right across the way is Boleros. Boleros is the Latin-themed bar, and here you're going to have live music in the evening that has, of course, salsa and merengue. There's also just live bands in general, but there's a lot of energy in Boleros, and this tends to be one of the most popular bars on board Harmony of the Seas. So if you're looking for a dance party, this is a great spot for Boleros. And by the way, the drinks they have here at the bar are fantastic because if you're into a margarita or a mojito, this is the best ones you're going to find on Harmony of the Seas. Now, in addition to everything else we talked about, there's also events and parties on the promenade. Check the Cruise Compass or, of course, the Royal Caribbean app for things like a balloon drop at midnight or dance parties or parades. All this included in your cruise fare. Simply show up and enjoy it here, and there's going to be something happening every day, every night, especially. So it's really important to check the Royal Caribbean app for all those activities. And yeah, your app does work on the cruise ship even if you don't have the internet package. So take advantage of that opportunity because there's a lot of fun. And the idea here is they want you to be part of what's happening on the Royal Promenade. In short, it feels like there's always something happening on the Royal Promenade because it's just a popular area. It's right in the middle of everything, and it's designed to be a hub of activity. Let's head down to Entertainment Place. Entertainment Place is another neighborhood on Harmony of the Seas. It's located below the Royal Promenade on Deck 4, and you're going to find a variety of places and venues to go to. You're also going to find popcorn available in the evening before shows. Now, popcorn does cost extra. I love popcorn, though, so I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo it because I just love it. You're also going to find the Royal Theater within Deck 4 and actually Deck 5 as well. The Royal Theater is a massive indoor theater that you're going to have the production shows performed on Harmony. And I love the shows in here. These shows, by the way, included in your cruise fare, no additional cost. You're actually going to have a full Broadway show on Harmony of the Seas with Grease. Yeah, the Grease. The full show that you would see on Broadway is here on Harmony of the Seas and including your cruise fare. There's also an original production called Columbus the Musical, which is a whimsical, funny musical comedy. I highly recommend it. While it's not a full Broadway show, it is really fun and one of my favorite shows out there. But it's simply grab a seat, enjoy the show. It is absolutely worth seeing. And the fact that it's including your cruise fare is mind-boggling because don't forget, to see Grease like at home, at your local theater, or in New York is going to cost you way more money. You're also going to find gambling opportunities within Harmony. This is actually two different casinos. The first is the non-smoking casino. This used to be the Jazz on 4 Club, if you're familiar with Harmony beforehand. But anyway, this is a new indoor non-smoking casino. This has slot machines and blackjack and a couple other table games. It's not very large, but it is non-smoking, which is a really nice benefit if you're not into the smoke issue that happens at the other casino. Right across the way is the Attic. The Attic is the comedy club primarily, although it's also used for a nightclub late at night. But the Attic is where you can go to enjoy comedy shows every night of your cruise. There'll be a couple different comedians that perform on stage for you. No cost for the comedy shows, by the way, so simply grab a seat and enjoy it. It's a really good idea to get a reservation ahead of time. And then beyond the comedy shows, you're also going to have a nightclub that goes on here. Sometimes it's silent disco, sometimes it's the DJ. Either way, this is where you can go for some late night entertainment. Also, I think they do bingo in here during the daytime. So it's more of a multi-purpose venue, but primarily it's really the, comedy show. There's also the Crown Lounge right nearby. The Crown Lounge is a dedicated venue just for guests who are Diamond Plus, or Pinnacle Club members. The Diamond Lounge, the Crown Lounge, is a spot you can go to basically have a reserved spot just for Royal Caribbean's top tier loyalty members. In the evening, there's hors d'oeuvres and drinks served here, and otherwise, it's really a spot to hang out. You will also find the Crown Lounge concierge who can assist you with any kind of issues you might have. They're kind of like the Suite Lounge concierge light, but they're there to help with any issues that some of the loyalty members might have. But a lot of people go in here for the complimentary coffee machine, which is available 24 hours a day, and the different snacks they serve in the morning, afternoon, and evening. I really love the hors d'oeuvres they serve in the evening, really good. But a lot of people really love the fact that this complimentary coffee machine is available 24 hours a day to enjoy a latte or an espresso. Studio B is one of the other theaters on board. This is the indoor ice skating rink, and there are ice shows performed in here, and these shows are amazing. You must see these shows. I know it's kind of weird because it's like ice capades, really. No, this is way better than that. It's really good, and one of my favorite shows to see on any roller coaster ship is in Studio B, not just because there is an insane amount of air conditioning in here, but because the shows are really good. In addition, you can try your hand at actually ice skating on board. There are complimentary ice skating sessions. All you need is long pants and socks, so make sure you pack those. But this is included in your cruise fare, and you can try your hand at it, see how good you are. In addition to all that, there's also where you're going to go to Studio B for different games like the Quest or Battle of the Sexes. They're held here in Studio B. It's a lot of fun. The Quest is adults only, so leave the kids at home. Trust me, you'll thank your therapist later for that. In short, the entertainment place is really all about the different things you can do, different ways to be entertained, hence the name. And then there's Casino Royale. So we saw the indoor smoking casino. This is the main casino, and Casino Royale essentially is split between non-smoking and smoking, but it's kind of like non-smoking in an airplane. The smoke doesn't know that you can't move to the other side. But the idea here is that you have plenty of gambling opportunities. You have tons of slot machines. You have craps. You have blackjack. You have roulette. And if you're so into or so inclined, you can certainly enjoy the gambling opportunities. Please gamble responsibly. And when it comes to the casino bar, this is also a very popular spot for a lot of people who enjoy a little break from the casino gambling. But whether you gamble or not, totally up to you. Some people go there and spend like 20 bucks. Some people spend a lot of money. It's your call altogether, but it's an option available. If you're interested in any artwork on board, there are art auctions that are hosted by Park West. The art auctions are conducted throughout the sail. Check the Royal Caribbean app for times, but you can preview the artwork. For me, I skip them. I just simply walk through, of course, the art area and just see what the cool art they have here. But if you're into an art auction and understand the risks involved with that, you can certainly go here and enjoy the artwork. For a lot of people, it's simply something to look at on your way from point A to point B. Next up is the Vitality Spa, and if you're looking to relax and really indulge, well, the Vitality Spa is where you want to go. Now, all Royal Caribbean cruise ships have a spa on board, and there's a variety of different services and things you can purchase here to, well, improve your cruise, so to speak. We'll start off with the Vitality Spa Cafe. The cafe essentially is a place you can get coffee and smoothies and shakes and a few light snacks. I would say this is probably the least well-known place to get a drink on board the ship. And the fact that it's in the Vitality Spa is actually a lesser known place to get like your Starbucks coffee. Is similar to Cafe Promenade that we showed earlier. So something to think about. In addition, there are a variety of spa products that you can purchase here in the Vitality Spa. Now, these are, of course, all costs extra, and these are things you can bring home with you and or use on board the ship. But if you're going to the Vitality Spa, you're probably going for, of course, the spa services. First of all, there is a salon on board the ship, and the salon allows you to go and get, well, of course, your hair done, nails, get a shave if you'd like to, manis, pedis, everything in between. Now, the services for the spa can be purchased before the cruise or while on board. My advice, especially if you want to get something done in the salon because it's a very small location, is to get it done before your cruise, so pre-book it beforehand. But the spa itself offers a variety of services. There are different massages and treatments that you can get, and as I mentioned earlier, just like the salon, you can pre-purchase these before the cruise. So what you really want to do, number one, is probably pre-book something before the sailing via Royal Caribbean's Cruise Planner website. Once you get on board the ship, you are allowed to take a complimentary tour of the spa facilities, and I like doing this on embarkation day. It's a really good idea, and there's no real sales pressure to do so something to check out. In addition, there's a fitness center also as part of the Vitality Spa, and the fitness center is complimentary, included in your cruise fare, and you can enjoy all these machines and free weights and treadmills and everything else in between. It is a pretty impressive sized gym, and it's going to allow you to be able to use that as you see fit throughout your sailing. You might be surprised just how large this gym is and how many machines and things there are to use. Now, in addition, there are fitness classes that do cost extra, and whether we're talking about spin class or Pilates, you can sign up for these once on board the ship. But other than the classes, everything else is complimentary as part of the Vitality Fitness Center. There's also a jogging track, and the cool thing about Harmony of the Seas is the jogging track on Harmony is actually separate from the pool deck. If you go on other smaller cruise ships, the jogging track is basically part of the pool deck. And the problem with that is that you're like dodging people who are like walking around and just lounging around. But here, this is a dedicated running track. And the really nice thing about this running track, besides the fact that it's dedicated, is there's some really nice views along the way. So if you need a break or just want to stop and enjoy the scenery, you can do that while on board, which is really nice. Next up, let's check out Adventure Ocean. Adventure Ocean is the kids camp on Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas. Adventure Ocean is divided into age groups. So kids as young as 6 months old can go to the nursery. And then for Adventure Ocean proper, we're talking about between the ages of 3 and 17 years old. Now, each group is available for you to go to during your cruise. It's a really good idea on embarkation day to go sign up for Adventure Ocean and register your kids. Adventure Ocean is complimentary, it's including your cruise fare, and they're open for various hours throughout the day. Depends if it's a port day or a sea day, but generally speaking, from when they open in the morning around 9 a.m. till about 10 p.m., it's including your cruise fare, no additional cost for kids between the ages of 3 and 17. Now for the nursery, this is kids between the months of 6 months and 36 months old, that does cost extra. But Adventure Ocean, from 3 years old to 17, is complimentary. After 10 p.m., there is an additional cost for Adventure Ocean. And again, as I mentioned, they all break it down via age group so that the programming is age appropriate. And yes, as you can see here, there are different places the kids can go during Adventure Ocean. Like there's an art studio, and there's a science lab, and there's actually a theater on board that they can go to. Unfortunately, the theater was closed when we were filming this, but there is a theater they can go in and watch, different films and whatnot. The really cool thing about Adventure Ocean, though, really is truly that it's a supervised program for your kids to go to and enjoy things to do within that area. This is not just a free-for-all. This is where kids can go and obviously meet other children on board, but also interact with the counselors, and there's a variety of different activities to do. There are video games, there's arts and crafts, there's organized projects, there's scavenger hunts, there's things that the kids can do together. And the great thing about the age-specific areas is that it makes it not only appropriate for them, but also you're not having 10-year-olds interact with 3-year-olds, and just, makes it a little more enjoyable overall. I gotta tell you, as a parent, I really loved and was impressed by what Adventure Ocean has to offer, and Harmony of the Seas has one of the larger spaces on board for that. If your kids are a teenager, well, then they have their own special area just for teens, and teens have a really impressive space in the living room. That's the name of the teen club, because calling it a teen club isn't cool anymore. But anyway, there's a lot of space here for the teens to enjoy, and unlike Adventure Ocean, which is a little more organized, the teen club is a little more like, hey, come hang out, we're gonna do activities, but also it's more of a chill and relax. And the other neat thing about the teen club is they also have an outdoor area just for them. So the teens can hang out outdoors and indoors within the teen club. And of course, the outdoor area called the back deck. These are all just fun ways to describe basically the teen club, what's referred to as it, but it's an option there. In addition, conveniently located, you're welcome parents, Royal Caribbean's put an arcade right next to the Adventure Ocean facilities. The arcade does cost extra, and like the arcade we saw back in the boardwalk, these games are slightly different, but they all cost extra, and if you so choose to go in there and indulge in your kids' desires to play these games, you can do so. There's a lot of different games that are there, and of course the games do change, from month to month, so you never know. But as for the arcade, it can be fun, but it gets a little inundated with kids in there. Nearby is another shop. It's called the Breeze by the Pool. This shop essentially is just things you can purchase that you'd probably need outdoor by the pool. As you can see here, there's a lot of pool deck, even beach stuff that you might need. And these are things that you can either I forgot to get it, or hey, wouldn't it be nice if we also got these things, maybe a Harmony of the Seas hat or something like that. Now, we went through a lot of the ship, but there's still more to see that, and a lot of these things don't really fit into specific neighborhoods, so we're going to zoom all around. Forgive the fact that we're not having a more of a linear approach to this, but we got to work it all in because you want to see everything on Harmony of the Seas. Let's start off with the Windjammer, the buffet, which is, of course, a staple of so many people who go on a cruise. The Windjammer Buffet is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it is a place where you can get as much food as you like in a buffet setting. The Windjammer is complimentary, there's no additional cost for it, and it's not quite open 24 hours by any means, but it's open all many hours of the day. It's open for breakfast, lunch, take a break in between, and then there's dinner service, and you're gonna find a great variety of food. When it comes to the Windjammer, it's very popular, and it can get busy, especially for breakfast and lunch on sea days especially. But when you go to the Windjammer, my advice to you is try to avoid the super popular times. Like for breakfast, go before 9 a.m. or after 10 a.m. for that matter, because it's really the 9 o'clock hour that is super busy. Beyond that, when you're looking at the Windjammer, there's a variety of different stations you can go to. My advice, though, is looking for the live cooking stations where they prepare food freshly for you. Those really stand out. Yes, there can be a little bit of a wait, like the omelet station in the morning, but it is so worth it. In addition, there are complimentary drinks in the Windjammer, whether it is coffee or water or some juices. These are available for you to use throughout. Now, you can also order drinks if you'd like to. If you have a drink package or pay for drinks individually, like, a Coke or even a beer. Those are available as well. And there's also a lot more seating towards the back. So when you walk into the Windjammer and you see like a huge crowd, that's okay. There's gonna be more seating probably as you get to the back of it. So keep walking back. And don't forget, if all else fails, you can always take your food somewhere else. Seven Hearts is basically the card room on Harmony of the Sea. So if you like to play a board game or a card game, this area is specifically for you. Now, Royal provides a few games to use, but really I think this is more like BYOG, bring your own game here, would be my best recommendation for you. So if you're looking for a place to spread out, then this is the card room for you. There are also computers here that you can use. This is really more like an internet cafe type thing. So again, I think also BYOD, bring your own device, is probably the right approach. Next up is a specialty restaurant called Wonderland. Wonderland is a specialty restaurant that costs extra, has a cover charge to dine here, and as the name implies, essentially is loosely themed after the Alice in Wonderland stories. So the idea here is that you have a restaurant where everything is a little different than it seems. Like the menu has all sorts of whimsical names for it, and the food presented looks very different than what it actually is. Like, you're gonna get like a chicken or a beef or what have you, but everything looks a little bit different, odd, if you will. And that's all intentional because, again, this restaurant is meant to be whimsical. It is meant to be kind of like make you feel like you're in an Alice in Wonderland story. It's not like over the top by any means, but it is a cool thing to do and maybe worth trying at least once. Also worth noting, there is a bar on Wonderland here on Harmony of the Sea. So if you just want to go to the bar and check out their drinks, of course, there are some interesting cocktails. Wonderland is available for that. Next stop available on Harmony of the Seas is going to be Dazzles. Dazzles is a multi-purpose venue. Primarily, it's a music venue. More often than not, you're going to find live musical acts performing here in Dazzles. And what I love about Dazzles is the views you're going to have, of course, behind the venue. It's a big venue. It's not usually too crowded, but the live music and the views out towards the boardwalk behind it are truly nice. It's actually 2 levels. So if you're looking for a place to chill and enjoy some live music, but not necessarily be like right in the middle of it, go up to the upper level. But if you want to be in the middle of it, definitely go check out on the lower level. There's also different game shows that are held here, like Name That Tune and Finish That Lyric and fun games like that. And of course, you can also enjoy some cocktails here as well. It's a great spot for an evening night out. And of course, we haven't talked about the main dining room. The main dining room is 3 levels on Harmony of the Seas, and the main dining room is open for breakfast and dinner every day of your cruise, and it's included in your cruise fare. For lunch, it is open only on sea days. And the main dining room, you have the choice of either traditional or My Time dining. Traditional dining is when you have the same table, the same time, and the same waitstaff every night of your cruise. With My Time dining, you get to choose your times. You have a little more flexibility in when you choose to eat there. And there's pros and cons to both. And in either case, you're going to choose that when you book your cruise. Yes, you can change it later on, but of course, if a seating is filled up, well, then you might have to wait for a wait list. So my best advice is to think about it when you're booking your cruise and choose the right option for you. In the main dining room, the food is pretty much all included. There are a couple of extra add-ons that do cost extra, but most of the menu is included, and there are some drinks that are included as well. Overall, I'm a big fan of the main dining room. I think it's a staple of the cruise experience, and I would recommend if you're new to cruising to try the main dining room at least a couple nights of your cruise. Like, don't automatically default to specialty dining because the food in the main dining room is not bad at all. I like some of the options. Some things are going to be better than others. Obviously, this is true of all restaurants, but overall, I really like the main dining room, and I love the ambiance of it. It's fun. There is a theme to the menus every night, and it's pretty loose. Like on Caribbean night, they have like French onion soup. I don't know why, but hey, I'll go for that. Overall, it's really nice to be able to dine in the main dining room. And for dinner, it's assigned tables. For breakfast and lunch, it is come as you go. There is basically no set tables for that, so you're good to go there. Another specialty restaurant on Harmony of the Seas is Izumi. Izumi is split into 2. On the one hand, you have hibachi, which is teppanyaki style dining, and it's absolutely fantastic. A great crowd pleaser, one of my top favorites of all time. And on the other side is a sushi restaurant. And the sushi side serves up Japanese cuisine, primarily sushi, but they also have non-fish based things. Like if you want to like chicken teriyaki or edamame or chicken karaage, they've got that as well. And I like Ozumi a lot. I'm a big fan of Japanese food. I think their sushi has always been fantastic. And in general, I really love the hibachi as well. Of course, there are elevator banks. There's two elevator banks, the forward elevator bank and the aft elevator bank. And the elevators can be busy, no question about it. But, when you get there, you'll get to where you're going. The Suite Lounge is a dedicated area just for suite guests. The Suite Lounge is located on deck 17 of Harmony of the Seas. And the Suite Lounge doubles as both the Suite Lounge and Coastal Kitchen, which we'll see in a little bit. But the Suite Lounge is a dedicated area just for guests who are staying in a grand suite or higher. So, sorry, junior suite guests, you're not allowed in here. But the best part of the Suite Lounge is what you get in here. First of all, there's going to be complimentary alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks served at certain hours of the day. And it's the opportunity to also hang out, have a reserved space that's uncrowded, which is really nice. And you have the services of the Suite Concierge. And this is arguably one of the most important things you can get because the Suite Concierge is like your own little guest services who can help you with so many things. They'll email you in the days leading up to your cruise. So if you have any concerns or questions, they're the ones to reach out to, and they can help you book a lot of things, just generally make your life easier. So it's a really good idea to meet the Suite Concierge when you get on board the ship and look for that email in those days leading up to the cruise. Attached to the Suite Lounge is Coastal Kitchen. And Coastal Kitchen is a complimentary restaurant exclusive for suite guests, and this is available for all meals of the day. It's included if you're staying there, so check that out. Now, of course, you're probably staying in a cabin, maybe not a suite, that's okay. There's lots of different cabins to choose from. You've got inside cabins, as you can see over here, and you've got all sorts of other cabins, ocean view, balconies. When it comes to which cabin to choose, there's a variety of considerations, chief among them, of course, how much it costs. But in general, your cabin is going to have, of course, a bed, a vanity, a sitting area, plenty of storage space, a closet, and your own private bathroom. Now, depending on which cabin you choose, there may be more space to be able to take advantage of, more space to reach out and spread out, and of course, different things within your cabin to enjoy, right? A private balcony has, of course, a balcony area. But in general, the cabins on cruise ships, while smaller than probably a hotel room that you're used to on land, is still sufficient for what you're doing. Remember, you're going to be out and about doing so many things around the ship. Spending time in your cabin is not nearly as important as you might think because you're not spending all day in here. For a lot of people, your cabin is basically just a place to go hang out, sleep, shower, and get ready for whatever you're doing, and then you're out and about. Well, that's going to do our tour here of Harmony of the Seas. I hope you have an amazing cruise on Harmony. And if you were thinking about booking Harmony of the Seas but wanted to see what the ship is all about, I hope this video helps you out there. Let me know in the comments below. When are you sailing on Harmony of the Seas? When's your next cruise? And what is your favorite thing about this ship? While you're down below our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way, YouTube lets you know if we have a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.